Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Michele Tomea. I am the Secretary General of the Thai Italian Chamber of Commerce located in Bangkok. Today we have an important webinar about health together with our partner Bumrungrad Hospital and VitalLife. Today our distinguished speaker is Dr. Pansak, connected from Bumrungrad in Bangkok. He is a senior brand ambassador of VitalLife Scientific Wellness Center, Gynecologist at Bumrungrad International Hospital, and he has over 36 years of experience in practicing and teaching medicine in Thailand and internationally. He's one of the leading experts in hormone balance and age management in Asia. This afternoon, we are talking about aging and DNA. More specifically, our topic is longevity is determined by our DNA. I would like also to greet Dr. Pansak for his time this afternoon. So thank you a lot for giving us your time and sharing your expertise, Dr. Pansak. It's a real honor to have you with us.
Good afternoon, and thank you for inviting me. Yes.
Thank you very much. And with no much further ado, I will leave our virtual stage to Dr. Pansak. He will share a presentation with all of us. And please text us in the chat in case you need more information. I will address later on our distinguished speaker. Thank you a lot.
Okay, good afternoon. Thank you everybody who coming and have listened to my talk today. The topic should be very well aware that we want to live long and healthy. At age of 60, some people say that you are senior, you have to stop working. But nowadays, I think the World Health Organization just increased it to 70. So how long will we live? We know that in 1950, we live up to only 50 years and we die. But the 2020, our life expectancy is increased up to nearly 80 years. So why you live long? You live long because the medical practice is better than before. When you get disease, doctor will treat you properly using the new method to make the disease return back to normal. But we did not want to live with disease. We want to live healthy. We want to live with vitality. And we need health span more than lifespan. We want the span of our life that we are healthy. So what is the factor that are going to involve in making you live long and healthy? So I will start with my slide that okay. So I will start with this slide. You will know that we live in the center. We want to be a good health and to integrate or improve our health. One factor that comes from our ancestor is genetic. Some people live long, some people live short. And because you are Italian, and if you did just search into the word that called blue zone is the area in the world that people live the longest life. Sardinia is one place of that. And people who live in Sardinia have some type of specific living that not other people in other area of the world do. They live healthy. They're living well together. They love each other. They are good religious. They eat good food from the sea. They eat plenty of vegetable. But is that enough? Maybe and may not be. Because that is what we call the environmental factor and lifestyle. The one that they do a good job to live long is the environment and lifestyle. Though that are non-specific, not personalized to anyone, it will make the people in that area live longer than other area of Italy. But because of the medical scientific, just grow a lot. We know that one thing that will determine, though you live in the area that live long, some people live short than others. So the genetic come into factor. So what is genetic? Genetic is our gene. You have gene from your father and your mother, and your father and your mother also have gene from your granddad, grandmom, and everything mixed to be you. Some gene is good, some gene is bad. Some gene cause you get diabetes. Some gene may cause you get Alzheimer. But some gene may make you strong, make you happy, make you think positive, make you sleep well, make you anything like that. So in our body, we have mix between the good gene and the bad gene. So we will be good if we know how much a good gene we have, how much a bad gene we have. We call that a roadmap. A healthy roadmap is good for you. If the gene, a bad gene, lead to a bad thing that happened in your life, you may detour that road to get into the end happy. But if that roadmap in your gene told you that, oh, this is the good way, this is a good lifestyle that you have to live, this is a good food that you have to eat, this is the type of exercise that you have to do, this type of medicine you cannot use, oh, that is good. So that is what we call a genetic medicine. And genetic medicine will evolve with what we call environment that we call epigenetic to be used to getting out. So today we are going to talk about something that are predictive, preventive, and personalized. What does is the predictive? It predicts that in the future, are you going to get this disease? In the future, can you eat something like this food? It predicts you that if you just do something like this, you will live long. And if you know that, you can prevent the bad thing to occur to you. Okay, that's a factor that you will live long. And also, we will do a good thing to you. So that is personalized. So this is predictive, preventive, and personalized to you to know your genetic. We call it DNA. And the DNA that we are going to see is the DNA that make you live well. I think that during this COVID-19 era, do you know the word that they search in the Google a lot last year is the word wellness. Everyone want to live well. Everyone want to live healthy. Everyone want to boost their immune function. Everyone want many things that make them healthy, happy, and have a lot of vitality. So today I'm going to present you something that we can do to alter your lifestyle to live long and healthy. We call that DNA wellness. This is not your total DNA. We can also check your total DNA, but sometimes we need not need to check as much as that one. We check only some part that are going to help you and have a scientific backup to tell you that when we check something like this and you alter your lifestyle, you change your diet, you change your type of living, you will live long and healthy. So in this the DNA wellness that we do in Bumrungrad and VitalLife Scientific Wellness Center, we have nearly 16 cities of that one. The first part is we call it bone and joint. We know that everyone when we get older, our bone get broken easily. Some people get thin and porous of the bone after menopause. A man also at some age when they get older, their hormone going drop down. When their hormone drop down, the bone break. But this can be prevented. We also know that we are going to use the hormone replacement therapy nowadays, though we use the bioidentical hormone, the hormone that resemble as your hormone in the body, natural, not synthetic. But by the way, you have to know how much you can use. Did it interfere with other disease? Can it take together with some type of medicine that is in your gene? Also, some joint have degenerative effect when you use it too much. But something are in your genetic that cause inflammation of the joint genetically, that called rheumatoid arthritis. So if we know, if you have that genetic, we may tend to prevent you. The next one, we know that the disease that make people life short is what we call metabolic syndrome. People now, they get fat easily, get central obesity, get increase in the lipid, bad lipid, bad fat, get increase in the blood sugar, and that led to increase in your weight. Let it chance to get more diabetes. Sometimes with that, you have increased the sugar, increase the fat, and then that made your blood vessel block with some fat that block, and you get problem with hypertension, and you also have a problem with cardiovascular disease. You get pain in the chest, you get heart attack. Sometimes it increase to get the stroke in the brain. So we call that the metabolic syndrome. And by the way, everyone did not want to get Alzheimer's. We live longer than before. We want to live long and happy thought. We want to memorize a good thing in our head. We want to live without forgetful. And that comes when you get older, when your hormone going down. We call that the Alzheimer. And Alzheimer is like a chronic disease that we do not want. Can we prevent? Can we prevent only general lifestyle, or we have to prevent specifically with your lifestyle according to your genetic? That is the question that I'm going to answer for you. And by the way, we live in this toxic world. We have a toxic from plastic. We have a toxic from exhaust fume. We have a toxic from the toxic metal that released in the environment. We have some bad thing that put into your food. When everything gets into your body, our body have to detoxify. Our body have a system to take care of that toxin from your skin to your liver, your kidney. But everyone are not the same. Everyone cannot detoxify the same. It depends on chemical inside your body that will take care of the bad toxic agent. We have to know, can we take care of which one? Can we not take which one? And can you are going to accumulate some bad toxic that we can take it out? Okay. The thing that we have to do every day, we have to eat. Did we have proper nutrition or not? Some people eat carb and get fat. Some people eat fat and get fat. Some people eat fat but did not get fat. Some people can eat more protein, less carbohydrate. Some people have to mix type. That is in your gene. Also, a specific body need a good nutrient, vitamin, mineral, anything like that. Everyone did not need the same. It determined by your gene also. And also, you know that sometimes we are allergic to some gluten, some to lactose. Some people cannot absorb vitamin D very well. Some people cannot produce vitamin D very well. That are essential for your health. We also take care. Are you going to get the macular degeneration in the posterior of the eye so that you cannot see well, or you may get some glaucoma that make the optic nerve function not so well because the pressure in the eyeball is high and it suppresses the function of the nerve. Also, we don't want the iron when we take from the food to overload in the body and make some toxic for you. Also, some inflammatory. Can you sleep well or not? The thing that you see, all that are in your genetic. That is in genetic. It means that we can alter. Like I showed you in the first slide that we have genetic, we have environment, and we have you and your lifestyle. So with a good lifestyle that determine for you from the genetic map that you know, we can create a good healthy lifestyle. So first I will talk the one that are very, very common, they call lactose intolerant. You know that milk and other dairy product contain some sugar that called lactose. Some people did not have enzyme that called lactase to digest this lactose. So when they take milk, they cannot digest well. They can get food intolerant or allergy to the milk that occur more in the Asian people, not in the Western people. If we know, we may have to take some milk that did not have lactose, or we can change to the other like soy milk or anything like that, so that enough of the nutrients. These are in the gene. The next is vitamin D deficiency. We know that with vitamin D deficiency, you get fragile bone. Some people get cancer more easily because vitamin D3 deal with your immune function. If you have a good immune function, when you have some bad cell in the body, the immune will take care of that and eliminate it. And during this time of COVID-19, everyone know that if you do not have enough of vitamin D3, your immune function will be fragile and cannot tolerate that COVID-19 easily. People with a good vitamin D3 survive more and have a less severe infection. And also vitamin D will help in promotion of other hormone or many like that. But 50% of the world population are vitamin D deficient because they did not get into the sun. Though like in Thailand, you see that Thai people sometimes they get into the sun, but they still get vitamin D deficiency. Why? Because their gene make their skin darken immediately after it have exposure to the sun. So the skin protect them from damage from the sun, but they lost vitamin D too. So if you have that gene, you have to take some vitamin D supplement in order to be in a good health. So this can be taken by your genetic. The next is the gluten intolerance. More than 50 diseases linked to the gluten sensitivity, especially the celiac disease that occur more in the Western people. We estimate that when people have the gluten intolerance, 70% are under diet. If you know that you are gluten intolerant, you go to the food store, you go to the restaurant, you can tell them that, oh, I am the gluten intolerant, so please make the food that are not composed of gluten. Sometimes say that, oh, I eat all non-gluten, but it's expensive. So if you know that you can digest gluten well, you do not allergy to gluten, you are not intolerant to gluten, you can eat normal food as ordinary people. So this is the way that we know. We can check from your genetic. The one that people are scared, we call it heart health. Our heart composed of the muscle, the heart muscle, but it also composed of the blood vessel that send food and oxygen to the heart muscle. So if you have the tendency to get obese easily, you have a tendency from your gene to get high blood pressure, you have tendency in your gene to get diabetes in the later life, and you also have the genetic determinant to get high bad cholesterol and low good cholesterol. All that component will lead to the decrease in the lumen of the blood vessel. Why? Because when you have high of the fat, that may come from the sugar too. When it was oxidized by every day that they use energy. You know that every day we need energy. The energy comes from our food that are combustion with the oxygen that we inhale. And that mechanism leads to the waste product called free radical. When the fat meet with the free radical will destroy the fat, and the fat will accumulate at the wall of the blood vessel and make the wall of the blood vessel fragile, hard, and did not make the easily pass of the blood circulation. And the heart is vulnerable because the heart needs a good blood perfusion. So you know that, like a lady, when they are young, their estrogen, their female hormone protect this antioxidant, this oxidation defect. But when they get after menopause, they get heart disease easily. But a man have that list all of their life. This is in the gene. In some part that we can manipulate, in some part that we can change our lifestyle to cope with that, and we still can live long and healthy. Brain health come into life when we live longer than 70 years of age. In the past time, we die before we getting old, but now we getting old before we die. So some degenerative disease show up, and one degenerative disease is Alzheimer. That is the degenerative of the brain cell. It caused by some substance that produced in the brain cell, and it makes the brain cell deterioration. We know that 60% of the dementia people are caused by the Alzheimer. And Alzheimer disease can be prevented by good lifestyle. The good lifestyle is that we know that if we do a good exercise very well, it can prevent Alzheimer. If we do some meditation or we do something to make us think positive, have the positive energy, it prevents Alzheimer. We know that if we have a good level of the estrogen hormone of the people, it prevents Alzheimer. That are in our body. We also know that the toxic substance from the food like aluminum, like something that have the deterioration effect on the brain. All that, your genetic, your environment, your lifestyle, your food. If we know which way it should be better to live, we can live with less chance to get Alzheimer. I cannot say that it can be prevented 100%. But if we know the way that we can be prevented, first we have to know from our genetic, because our genetic will determine that. The bone health, I talked some in the early. We know that when we get older, our bone is broken. Our bone is brittle. Our bone is thinner. Because every day our bone is thin, but it has to be replaced by the new bone formation. That need a good vitamin D3. And vitamin D3 to be good or not good, it determined by your genetic too. And also another part is calcium. Everyone cannot absorb calcium at the same rate. Some people eat a lot of food, some people drink a lot of milk, but calcium did not get into the body. Some people drink a little bit, but it can get into the body easily. So if we know that which one is good, we didn't need supplement. Which one is not good, we need supplement. So this determines in you, and you know that the broken bone affect 1 in 3 women after menopause, and it affects 1 in 5 men with the low testosterone or low male hormone. The rheumatoid arthritis is one type of the DNA wellness that we can check. We know that RA or rheumatoid arthritis is an autoimmune that your body attacking your joint. It passed to generation. It passed to from ancestor to you and maybe to your offspring. We cannot prevent that, but we can prevent the deterioration of the disease if we know it since we are young. Like when this roadmap told you that you are going to get a rheumatoid arthritis when you get older, doctor will advise you a lifestyle, a good diet, or some exercise to detour you so that you will not pass into that dangerous pathway. Nowadays, we know that people get what we call type 2 diabetes more and more, or we call it DM type 2. Diabetes have 2 types. The first time occur from genetic also, but it occurred that in the young. When you are young, your pancreas did not produce insulin. That cause from genetic. Okay, but if you are still did not have that at the early phase of your life, you may get that in the later phase of your life. If that genetic defect is in your gene, will it be good if you know that you have that gene in the body? Like if you have your dad diabetes type 2 gene, your mom have diabetes type 2 gene, or you also, both of you, father and mother, have an offspring, and then you have diabetes gene in both of you. You want to know that your offspring or your son and daughter have that or not? It can be detected. If it have that, we can change the lifestyle since he or she is young. Okay, so he will not get diabetes in the later life. We know that diabetes is a chronic disease that causes a lot of the chronic disease that make the life not so good. Detoxification. You know, in our body, we have 2 types of detoxification because every day we expose to many toxins and heavy metal that I talked in the early phase already. Sometimes just smoke cigarette. In the cigarette, they have a lot of toxic bacteria like lead, cadmium, mercury, many things in that. We also have the exhaust fume from the car, though they didn't have benzene that are very toxic, but others still have some toxic bacteria inside. Every day we ingest, we breathe, sometimes we drink some type of toxic material to the body every day, but our body can cope with that by eliminate that. Your skin protect you from environment toxin. Your digestion, if you have enough of the bacteria inside your gut, it prevents some toxic material. But when you get older, the body deterioration, the acid-base balance in the body change, and that make the toxic material that you have it every day cannot be diverted out, cannot be detoxified. So we detect from your gene, detect that how can you take care of the toxic in every day. If your gene show that, oh, you have very good detoxification, both phase 1, phase 2, integrate that to your kidney, to your liver, or to your skin, and which one is active, we can talk with you, give you information. Doctor is like the lifestyle coaching for you to tell you which way you will live healthy with your genetic, and that will improve your health in overall. Obesity nowadays is one of the serious problems in the world. We have more and more overweight people. We have more and more people who get obesity. And everyone knows that obesity causes many things. Like during this time, the COVID-19, people who have diabetes, who have hypertension, who have obesity, die easier than people who are thin, active immune function. Obesity comes from food that you eat. Some people eat food without notice that they should stop because the hunger gene is in you. Some people have a hunger gene. Some people are full easily. Some people eat many, still not full. Some people have a satiety gene, did not want to eat much. Some people did not have that. Some people want to do a good exercise. Some people want to sit down to the couch and watch the television. All that determines the gene. And also, in the gene, they told you that are you going to get fat with the carbohydrate, or are you getting fat with the sugar, or are you going to get fat with the fat, or are you going to get fat with the protein? Everyone are not the same. And some people have what we call yo-yo effect. They're going up and then going down, and they're going up again and going down. And some people like to eat snack. Some people did not like to eat snack. Some people want to do intermittent fasting, eat only a small time and then stop for a long time. Some people eat a long time and stop for a short time. That also in the gene. And then we can change the lifestyle if you know that. Everyone know that nowadays we use hormone to fight aging. Hormone is the good anti-aging substance that our body produces. Hormone is like the energy in the body that help regulate your body to function. But when you get older, some hormones start going down. Like hormone from the brain called melatonin, it going down. It makes you sleep not so well. And with that, it will lead to decreased function of the ovary and the testes in a man, ovary in a lady, to produce less of the female hormone and male hormone. And when that occurs, it causes menopause, it causes andropause. It causes the time when a man and a lady have the low and not enough the hormone to survive, to live healthy, to live happy, to live with more energetic. So we have to use some hormone. But hormone is not good for everyone. Some people use hormone and get venous blood clot. Some people use hormone and get cancer. Some people use hormone and did not protect you at all. All are determined by your gene. So if we know that your gene is good for hormone replacement, doctor will advise you to use hormone. And that hormone will prevent you from aging. But if the gene told that you are not good when you're using hormone, you may get bad effect after using hormone, doctor may have to shift you to non-hormonal treatment. So this is a more personalized to prevent you from aging or the disease that make you live not so long. And life nowadays, we see the television screen. Sometimes we see from our telephone that are the blue light or anything like that. And also with that, it just get into the eye and it attack your macula or at the end of your eyeball. And with that property, the back of the eyeball will degenerate. We call that area macula. The macular degeneration, some people will need more antioxidant than others. Some people may need anti-blue light to prevent. Some people may need to do some specific treatment that are in the gene that you need how much of it. And another one is called glaucoma, the increased pressure in the eyeball. It can occur in some people more than other people. It can be serious in some people more than another people. And when that alcohol is blocked, the pressure in the eyeball increase, and that one will suppress the function of the nerve that convey the signal from the eye to the brain and for you to see. So it's not easy to see. Some people get eye blindness. If you know you have that gene, you can have an early detection and prevent that, because a glaucoma can be treated very easily if you know. Inflammatory bowel disease, or we call it inflammatory bowel syndrome, it occurs when people say like a Crohn's disease, a generalized inflammation of the intestinal lumen. When you have that inflammatory, the absorption of the food is not good, some digestion is not good, so you have a less nutrient for the body. Also, you get a lot of inflammation that not good for overall health. You have deteriorate in your health. Something like this can also be prevent using a new lifestyle. It's not the last one, but it is the one that we talk a lot nowadays, and some people may listen to our talk from other doctor already, that you have to sleep well, because sleep is the first leg that will make you live long and healthy. Sleep is the thing that protect you from obesity. Sleep is the thing that you have to have in your life to make you produce a good hormone, good energy, everything like this. So to be in good health, to live long, to have a good wellness, to have anything like that, sleep wellness is the thing that you need. But sleep wellness is not the same for everyone. Some people sleep very easily. Some people stress a lot, but sleep easily. Some people have only some of the undoing not so well that they cannot sleep. Some people think a lot, some people think not so much. That determines in the gene. Though it determines on the lifestyle, the way you learn, the way you live, but it determines in your gene. We have to live well. We have to sleep well according to our circadian rhythm, because that is your biological clock to determine that how you can live. You cannot alter your biological clock, but everyone have not the same biological clock. So when we determine by your gene, we can control your biological clock. When we can control your biological clock, we can make you sleep at a good time according to you, not according to the general. Because sometimes, people go to sleep, we have to go to sleep at this time, we have to wake up at that time. Who say that is general, may not good for you. So with the genetic determinant, you will know what you can do to your sleep. And then we know that you can alter the way you sleep to sleep well according to your internal biological clock. So all of that one is the genetic determinant. Another one is called iron overload. Every day we eat food. We have some iron from the red meat. We have some iron from the dark green vegetable. Everyone, when they have the iron into their intestinal tract, the absorption is not the same. Some people absorb a lot, some people absorb not so much. Some people who absorb not so much, they will get anemia their red blood cell will going down and they need some iron supplement. Some people have a lot of iron to produce in body. You have a condition called hemochromatosis. That means you have a lot of mineral called iron deposit in the organ. When it deposit in organ, especially when it deposit in your spleen is the organ that produce a good function of the immune function. With iron overload, the immune function will not be good. And some people relate that with increase the chance to get cancer, increase the chance to get Alzheimer, or some increase the chance to get diabetes, heart disease, liver disease. So we have to prevent that. If you have that gene, you may have to eat less meat or eat less dark green vegetable. So the key message is that genetic testing is the procedure that can analyze your internal, your genetic list to develop some not so good disease, some disease that can be prevented, some disease that can be altered, some disease that can be protected. And we also know that at what time the onset of the disease are going. And we understand of that your unique character from inside. You talk with the doctor who interpret your genetic result. And doctor and the patient will discuss the lifestyle that we are going to create for you. If you just search in the global health survey or something like that, you will know that now the paradigm shift, the thinking of the people shift from the illness to the wellness. In the previous time, we wait until we get disease and we go to see a good doctor, good hospital, use a good medical technology to help you. But nowadays, we want a wellness paradigm. We want to live well and healthy. So nowadays, you go to consult a doctor to live well, to live healthy, to live longer than before, using the genetic determinant that can be checked by your DNA wellness that I just explained for you from the early that I talked. We understand something like that. It can alter health. It can improve health that lead to wellness. This is the thing that we do at VitalLife. First, we have what we call My DNA that is on the medical part. People want to know that, are we allergic to this medicine? Can we use high dose of this medicine, or we have to lower dose of this medicine, or we have to change to another type of medicine? Because when you take medicine in your body, you have one genetic to make that medicine active. And then you have another genetic to make that medicine inactive. So you just listen carefully. If you have the gene that make that medicine active easily, you take standard dose, you will have high dose. But if you have the less effective of the first gene, you take the standard dose, you will have not enough of the dose. Also the second gene, if you take a normal standard dose, if that second gene did not take it out in the body, you can accumulation more than before. So you see, we have at least two genes to counteract, to make the pharmacologic effect of the medicine that you take. This can be determined. When it can be determined, doctor can choose you the right and the proper medicine for your specific disease at a specific dose that are highly effective and less side effect. This is the thing that we can do with what we call pharmacogenomic screening. The one that we talked in the early, we call it DNA Scientific Wellness Panel. That is the standard, the foundation. We call it the lifestyle DNA wellness test. Okay, people want to know more. We want to know from the food genetic. We want to know that which type of food can we eat, which type of supplement we have to eat, how much amount of the supplement we have to eat, which type of food make you fat, which type of food make you healthy, and then with that, you can decide the diet according to the health that you want. So in this screen, this is the wireless that we take care for people to live long and healthy with the genetic determinant. So the healthcare can do deeper with this one. It's very easy. It's easy. You just come and we can take it from your saliva, we can take it from your blood, and that need a little bit time to process, and then the result will come. For the disease prevention, we talked already. For the other nutrigenomic, you can take that, and the price in the screen. You can contact the people at the front desk or our customer service to do that. Okay, and that is the first part I'm going to talk, but I'm willing to answer the question or give more explanation if you need. Please.
Thank you very much, Dr. Pansak, for this overview about, let's say, many diseases that might affect people without knowing that maybe because of their situation they might be affected. We have a couple of questions already in the chat. One is from Miss Angelica asking, hello, Ajahn, may I know what will the test will be? Probably, tell me. Probably, I don't know if Angelica is connected to us. Angelica, are you mentioning about exactly what the test is? Like if it's, for example, like from, let's say, a blood test to check the DNA, or there is another way to check, technically speaking?
Okay, in general, we take it from the blood. Okay, but in some specific, we can take from the buccal mucosa or some from saliva. Okay, it depends on the test, but in the general, we take it from the blood.
And may I ask you, related to this, like mapping the DNA of a patient, does it take several days or several hours to give a feedback to the patient?
Okay, allow 1 week.
1 week.
Allow 1 week. Yeah.
Okay. And also from the audience, there is another question from Mr. Jafferji. Are there any sicknesses or bad DNA that cannot be treated despite medical treatment?
Okay, we have many genetic disease that cannot be treated nowadays. But if you just detect a little bit early, in the next phase of medicine, they are going to alter the genetic. But it may be in the later year, in 10 years or 5 years, something like that. But they are very, very advanced now. But the thing that we do, if you have some disease that cannot be cured at this time, we still can advise some lifestyle, some specific nutrient, some specific procedure to make the disease not deteriorate too much according to the gene. So in that case, we can give exact amount of medication or specific amount of some of the nutrient to alter the cause of the genetic determination.
Okay, thank you.
And in our hospital, we have the geneticists, the one who are really specialized in genetic in some category. And when you do some this test, if you need a specified doctor who are specialized in some type of genetic, we will consult for you.
Okay, thank you for clarifying. Related to human DNA, we understand that probably human DNA was mapped already. And may I ask, let's say in Thailand, we know we can access a high level of medical treatments. And from your point of view, let's say, what is the next step to access, let's say, a higher level of researches? For example, Thailand or your hospital can access also a global database of researches made, for example, in Europe, United States, okay. Because in the last year, basically, we understood that how much is important to share the information on medical treatment, and we actually experience on the real life of people. What is your vision about sharing researches in real time?
Yeah, okay. That's very good question because that is the purpose of our hospital and the aim of our hospital to do. We have the nearly artificial intelligence in some part that when you have specific type of disease that occur, uh, we detect your gene, we detect your blood determination, we detect what we call the investigation that are up to date. Some investigation we may send out to some specific country that are good at that one. Something we may consultation with our collaboration in other country, and also we have the what we call the database. The database come from what we call the research, medical research in all over the world. And then when we put the data in, that computer system will generate out that now what is the best way to treat that according to the reference, blah, blah, blah. And then our team of doctor will come and have a meeting together. We discuss which the best way to treat. We do that.
That's also very, very interesting, especially in developing a treatment for people. And also something that I mentioned
we can access the database in the Western world. Yeah.
Something that I need to mention, sorry, I didn't mention before, but among the participants today, we will have a lucky draw. So after the webinar, we will basically find a winner for having a free consultation with Dr. Pansak as a lucky draw prize. And this lucky draw prize is basically sponsored thanks to VitalLife and Bumrungrad Hospital, and also to the dedicated time of Dr. Pansak. So I want to thank you for your availability for this. And I believe also our audience will be more interested in getting to know you, having the chance. And of course, as a chamber and connected to Bumrungrad, we are willing also to share our other information. So perhaps if some of the audience would like to get in direct contact with you directly, because perhaps they have something that is more sensitive to ask in a public audience, we will liaise with the contact with the team of Bumrungrad to facilitate. But thank you again for your precious time.
Thank you for your time too. We are very willing to help everyone to come to consult us.
Okay, maybe I ask for a last round of question, but maybe something related to, let's say, DNA. We saw at the very beginning of the presentation, you mentioned that people in Sardinia are renowned for having a very long life. And we saw also that some country might be prone to be affected for some disease. So, for example, we saw that I heard, for example, in Thailand, a lot of people are affected with, for example, disease related to liver or the eye. Do you think this one is also related to environment or the food, or is related really to the genetics that we develop by living for centuries in a specific area?
It depends on the area that you live in Thailand. It may caused by some toxic material. It may caused by some infection. It may caused by some of the bad food that they eat in their everyday life. So this genetic is less part of that in Thailand.
But no matter what, we know that also Thailand is one of the biggest food and ingredients producer for all over the world. So, but usually the standard, thankfully, is very high in Thailand.
You know, actually, most of the Thai food are good. They have a lot of antioxidant. They have a lot of the food that boosts your immune function. But some habit of the people in some part of the country, they eat the food that are not well cooked and the type that they prepare may prone to infection or some toxic material in the food. That the Ministry of Public Health is going to give them the information, and they have a better life more and more.
Okay, thank you for sharing this information. But again, I don't see any other question in the chat. However, as I said at the very beginning, we will share the video record of this webinar online very soon, in a couple of days, on the TICC YouTube channel. And of course, please feel free to contact our office, TICC, or Bumrungrad and VitalLife Scientific Wellness Center if you get to know better. As you see from the slide shared by Dr. Pansak, you can get to contact them directly through line at VitalLife_wellness, or just visit the website www.vitallifeintegratedhealth.com, or you can contact our office, TICC, to know better. Anyhow, I think we approach the conclusion, Dr. Pansak. So I would like to thank you again for your insightful presentation. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Swadikap.
Swadikap. Thank you everyone for participating, and stay healthy and enjoy your afternoon. Thank you.